Dovetail joinery has long been considered a sign of fine woodworking, not because this is one of the strongest ways to join two pieces of wood, but also because it's a challenging joint to cut, especially by hand. There are jigs that allow you to cut them with a router, but most of them produce a joint that just looks machine-made, and those jigs can be pretty expensive. So some years back, I came up with a way to cut dovetail joints with a table saw. Not only is my method quick and easy, it also produces a flawless joint that looks like it was cut by hand. And I do it with a homemade table saw sled. I designed this sled about a decade ago. It's been in various videos and woodworking magazines over the years. Tens of thousands of woodworkers have built their own, and you can too. Then you can use it for all sorts of woodworking tasks, including dovetails, but also other joinery like finger or box joints, splines for mitered boxes, and tenons for furniture. Put a link below this video to a set of details for the sled and all the jigs, all of which can be made from a little plywood and some simple odds and ends that you can pick up in any hardware store. But today I want to focus on the dovetail jig. This is an attachment for the sled, but it can also be built as a standalone jig if you don't want to build the whole sled. Those instructions are still in the plans. The standalone version of the dovetail jig is one piece, but the sled version is two pieces. We'll focus on that version in this video, but the process is the same no matter which one you use. Dovetail joints are made up of two parts, the pins and the tails. With this jig, I prefer to cut the pins first, so I lay out their locations on the outside face of my workpiece. I only have to mark down by the end of the board, and you can lay them out however you like. I'm going to be removing the space in between, so I mark those areas off too. I also mark the thickness of the mating workpiece across the board's face. Now let's talk briefly about your table saw blade. Most general purpose or combination blades have ATB teeth. That means they're ground at alternating right and left angles. Or it may have ATBR teeth, which are mostly angled with a few flat teeth. Table saw joinery, whether it be finger joints or tenons or dovetails, are best cut with a rip blade that is flat ground across the top of every tooth. These blades are not uncommon or very expensive, and it's worth owning one if you don't already. The pins jig is attached to the fence of the sled. There are two angled sides to it. I've aligned the jig to begin on its left side. I raise the saw blade up to the line marked across the face of my workpiece. Then I stand the piece on end, and I begin nibbling away the right sides of the waist areas. When I reach the center of one waist area, I move on to the next and continue the process. Then I slide the jig to align the blade with its other angled panel. Here I can move the rest of each waist area. I switch between the two angles because it produces the slanted sides that the dovetail pins require. With the pins finished, I mark their width on the end of my mating workpiece. This time I want to remove the smaller waist areas to form the tails half of the joint. I also mark the thickness of the pin's board across its face. For this, I'll need to swap to the other half of the jig. This one is double-sided too. The first cut is made on the right side of the right tail with the blade just short of its final height. Then I raise it gradually until the kerf reaches the line marked across the face of the workpiece. Don't go too high or the joint will be loose. Again, I'm just nibbling away my waist areas beginning on the right. It's important that I leave my pencil lines in place. Otherwise, the joint will be too loose. So I cut right next to the lines, but I don't remove them. When removing the waist between the tails, begin on the left side of the waist area and remove just half the waist. Then slide the jig over to the other side of the sled. Here you have to double check your blade height and make any needed adjustments. You don't want to cut above your line. Then remove the rest of your waist area. Once you cut a couple of these joints, this process will go a lot faster. But for your first try, just take your time. Switching sides of the jig like this creates the opposite angled sides of each tail to match the sloping sides of the pins. Because of the angled ramps on the jig, the cut will be a little jagged along the baseline. This is easily cleaned up with a sharp chisel. Just don't shave away too much. Again, leave your pencil lines or the joint will be loose. The joint should fit together snugly with some light mallet taps. Don't beat on it too hard, you might split the wood. If it's too tight, use a chisel to adjust it. If it's too loose, you probably cut away your pencil line, or you may have raised your blade too high, and you're going to have to remake the tails half of the joint. So what do you think of the results? If you can cut dovetails by hand, do it. But if you don't have that skill, this is an alternative method worth looking into. As I said, you can get plans for this jig and the table saw sled itself and all the other jigs at the link below. The sled has all sorts of great features. It alone is worth building. In a future video, I'll show you some of the other attachments that come with it, like the finger joint jig or the spline jig or the tenon jig. All of that's included with these plans. But if you don't want to make the sled, the plans also show you how to make the dovetail jig as a standalone unit for your table saw. Now here's something else that'll make your life easier. This is the CRB7 router jig system from Empower Tools, and it does just about everything with amazing accuracy due to its clever micro adjuster. It's just one of the many product innovations from this small family-owned company. You gotta check them out at the link in the notes below this video.